Hello.
Perfect. We'll begin the press conference now. If you have a question on the Zoom, raise your hand. And we'll begin with Michelle.
You're on mute, Michelle.
Yep. No, I'm unmuted now. Julian, first of all, congratulations on a couple of things. 3 wins in a row in this period that a lot of people thought, oh no, what's going to happen to the team in June? And also I saw that you got 100th, you reached a milestone of 100 assists, which is a special milestone in any league and in MLS. I just want to ask you, how confident is this team right now, going on a 3-game win streak, I think 7 unbeaten on the road, and without Leo Messi, without Suarez, without Rojas? What does it mean about your team, and what's the mood of the team right now, as you guys have been spending a lot of time together on this extended road trip? What's the mood going into the Charlotte game? Thank you.
Thanks first of all for the congratulations. It's not 100 assists quite yet. It's I think 100 goal contributions, so goals and assists.
Oh, okay.
So
100, right. Goal contributions. Got it. Yes. Okay.
But,
that would be 100 goals or no 100 assists. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but no, I mean the mood is good. I'd be lying if I didn't say that, because of kind of the run of form that we've been in. We're spending a lot of time together here, and when you win and you are in the same space like this, and you kind of have success as a whole team, then yeah, it is a good mood. It's relaxed, it's loose, but I feel like we've also found kind of the right recipe of when to turn it on, and when to be intense, and when to be ready for the games. And I think that we showed that obviously against Nashville, coming off of 2 pretty good performances before, 2 pretty good results from before. And now to have a little bit off, and now to be kind of coming back and having a performance again, a serious performance like that, where we're not loose, we're not, just doing stupid things. We're dialed in, and we're there when we need to be, and that was a very good first half, I thought, and that gives us more confidence going forward. Obviously, we know that was the start of a long week, so you want to have a good start to a week like that, and this was a good way to start. But we also know that we have 2 challenges ahead of us still, that we want to have a positive results in, and kind of solidify ourselves top of the table, and continue to prove maybe some doubters wrong that we couldn't do it in June.
Thank you.
Next question, Safi.
Julian, how are you, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I wanted to ask the connectiveness that you guys have kind of played with the last couple weeks, or during the tournament especially. Was there a catalyst? Was there a starting point for that? For me, I see kind of the Leo Alfonso goal in Philly being a big moment for you guys. But also I think maybe this kind of camaraderie you guys have had has been cultivated, ever since you guys were, in Europe and Asia earlier this year. Has there been a kind of catalyst to how you guys have played maybe the last couple of games without the stars? Was it that Philly game, or was it another point maybe, do you think?
Yeah, I think that Philly game in that moment, not just, obviously the goal at the end helps, but even going down to 9-man and kind of hanging on, even if it was going to be a tie at the end, and kind of playing well and fighting through some adversity together. I think that always gets you closer together, right, as a team. And we know the storylines, right? We know that, Copa America is coming up. What is going to happen to Miami? They're going to lose all these guys. And that also drives us together a little bit to kind of show that there is a team, around those 2 or 3 guys that were going to be gone. And obviously a lot of guys got some more opportunities now to play and play some meaningful roles. We obviously had some injuries as well. So, the kind of depth of the roster got tested, and those guys, that brings you closer together, that makes you a bit more, kind of clued into each other. That, I've said this from the beginning, I'm trying to help these young guys that come in and, do their part and not feel like they have to be shy, they can be themselves, and I think moments like this show that they're good players too, and that we have a really good squad in general, and the depth is there. So, we're on a good run. We're playing really well, and those experiences that we go through together, starting with the Philly game, and in beating a good team in Columbus, for example, at home, those things just give you confidence, and you kind of just keep going. That's obviously what we're trying to continue to have now, moving forward too.
Perfect. Next question, Andrea.
Hi, thanks, Rafa. Hi, Julian. I wanted to ask you two quick ones on your leadership role on this team. Everyone talks about Messi, Busquets, but I've seen you for all this year taking care of your teammates, coming and talking when you guys didn't win, and all of that type of things that a leader does. How do you take that role in? And the second one, I wanted to ask you about the U.S. What do you think? They got eliminated yesterday. You have been a U.S. player in the past. What do you think U.S. soccer needs to change before the World Cup, now that there's 2 years out, and do you think they need to change anything? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the person I am in terms of leadership and trying to do the right things, right? I don't want to say I'm not the most vocal in the locker room at times, but I try and do things the right way and try and show, especially younger guys, of what it takes, to be successful. And everybody's different. I'm trying to do it that way. I'm trying to see the bigger picture at times, and make sure that we don't get too carried away by having this stretch of results, and also try and focus on kind of what's ahead, but then also when things aren't going well, trying to, calm things down a bit and not overplay things as they play out. So that's just kind of the person that I have been, or that I've developed into over my years in MLS and throughout my career. And in terms of U.S. soccer, I mean, yeah, it's disappointing. Disappointing to go out in the group stage. It's something that you have a Copa America at home where you obviously want to do well, especially in preparation for the World Cup that will also be at home in 2 years. And, it's a tough moment, I think, where you have to really evaluate of kind of what is going to happen moving forward, and how can you be most successful in 2026, right? That is such a big opportunity for the sport in this country. I don't have the answers to that. That's obviously outside of kind of my bubble, but there's certainly things that need to be addressed, I think, and we'll kind of see how that shapes up and how U.S. soccer takes those steps moving forward. But again, I think it's time to really clue in and really focus on what will bring us the best outcome in 2026. And if that changes, if that means a lot of changes, then that means a lot of changes. If it doesn't, then hopefully we can kind of move forward and with continuity as well. So we'll just kind of have to see how the federation handles that.
I think we'll go back to Michelle and then Sophie.
I'm going to ask one follow-up question on the U.S., and then I wanted to ask you about Ian Frey, about his return and just, what he's done for the team and since his return. As far as the U.S., for a while it's sort of been, at the beginning, people thought, I've covered this team for a long time, and it was like, too many players are from MLS. They're not playing overseas. We need to get all the guys overseas. So now this was supposed to be, the golden generation, quote unquote, all these players that are playing in Europe, which we know that those are top leagues and everything. However, Canada has 14 players from MLS, and they advanced. So I'm just wondering, as an MLS player and someone who also, has experience with the European leagues and stuff, do you think that it's a myth that, maybe it's okay to have more MLS players? This team has had success in the past with more MLS players. Some of the guys that are overseas are not playing that many minutes. They may be on those teams, but they're not playing as many minutes, whereas some of the guys MLS play more minutes. I'm just wondering what you think about that. And then Ian Frey. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think that, it's as black and white. I don't think you can say, well, Canada has more MLS players, that's why they qualify for the next round, and the US doesn't. I think it's good that guys are in Europe. I think the US has a really young team still. I think we need to kind of remind ourselves of that a little bit, where on an international stage, you know, the margins are so thin and you have to have experience. And, you know, this is obviously easy for me to say, kind of sitting here and not having been part of this, but so it's something that I think guys will grow from, you know, and the whole federation and US soccer and the players will grow from as they, you know, have 2 more years now leading up to the World Cup to be exposed in, you know, high pressure situations in European leagues. I think it will only get better, you know, and not to say that, you know, MLS players can contribute. I very much think that MLS players can contribute a lot to the national team, because the level in this league is also getting better and there's real quality here. So it's not just like that we have to, you know, get everybody out of here. I think it depends on each guy and everybody's different, and kind of what you need out of the group in general. So yeah, I don't think it's as black and white as it sometimes seems on paper. And every situation is a little bit different. In terms of Ian, yeah, Ian, you know, I told him since he gave me 24 at the beginning of the year, I told him this would bring him some better juju. I was gonna take 17, and I was like, hey Ian, what do you think? And ever since he came back, and we've kind of connected on his 2 goals there, I was like, you know, thank God we switched numbers, and that's what made it happen for you. No, it's just so in general, we're just super happy for him. I think as a whole team and as a club, right, for him to go through what he's gone through with the 3 serious injuries and to come back like this now and you know, be immediately, you know, integrated like that again with the 2 goals and kind of playing really well too, even besides the goals. It's something special, and I mean, it gives me goosebumps right now thinking of what he's gone through and seeing him since the beginning of the year of how much he's worked. It's special, and he's a real big example for a lot of people in this world that, you know, get knocked down a lot and that you know, can kind of draw energy from that and from his energy. And I certainly do, because, you know, thinking of like I said, what he's gone through is so special, and for him now to feel these emotions again, and for us as a group to have him be part of this is awesome, and I'm super excited for him to kind of continue obviously the way now and hopefully stay healthy.
Thank you.
Safid?
I was gonna also ask about Ian, so I'll do another question. 1 to 10, Rafa's hair today. 1 to 10, give me a rating. How does his hair look?
Like a 3.
It looks amazing. I did have a serious question. I appreciate that though. Not to look ahead, but I'm sure there's been plenty of games this season where you guys have kind of gone back and looked at the standings and you're like, damn, Cincinnati, they like literally won't let up. What are those feelings kind of like? And you know, a chance to, you know, to play them later this week.
Obviously it's a matchup, you know, I think everybody's kind of waiting for, but we have a game tomorrow still, so we want to, you know, do well in that, and then yeah, we're looking forward to that game, especially in Cincinnati, you know, and I think big opportunity for us there, obviously. But yeah, I think it just brings out the best in us, you know, and I remember the time back in 2018 when we were in similar position with Atlanta. It was us and the New York Red Bulls, and it was, you know, toe to toe all the way till the very last game of the season. But you know, obviously you have some teams in the West you can't forget about as well, and LAFC is playing really well. Salt Lake obviously is doing really well, and you know, a couple of teams there that can be really dangerous. The Galaxy, you know, that have quality players and have been on a really good run too. So, you know, that's being top of the league and having I mean, you know, it's not just a runaway show. It's, you have to really perform every game, and that's what you know, what keeps us going. I think, you know, we are at the top right now. We want to stay there, and the only way we can do that is by controlling what we can control, and that's by winning games. And that's what we're trying to do on the road, at home, wherever. And you know, without players, with players, it doesn't matter. So we're really trying to just continue to do what we have been doing, and hopefully that will at the end of the year get us to where we want to be. And you know, I like it. I would be lying if I said I didn't like it. If you check the scores, and you kind of obviously root a little bit against Cincinnati at times, and you know, you want to kind of separate yourself, but at the same time, it, you know, it keeps that drive within us, and and it keeps us going. And yeah, so we'll just see how it plays out, and hopefully we can be on top at the very end.
Is it too early to think about like home field advantage, like later on this year?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's still so much season left to play. We still have to play them twice. And like I said, there's other teams in the West as well that could potentially play a role. So, yeah, there's too much season left to play. And I think once we kind of start back up again after, I think that first game back after Leagues Cup will be Cincinnati. So, you know, that's when, you know, you kind of look at the standings a bit closer and see kind of what the matchups are like at the end of the year and all those types of things. So, I think so. I think, you know, right now, obviously you're trying to win the games and you're not trying to get too much separation between, you know, between each other. And obviously you maybe want to run away with it. That would be nice. But, you know, at the end of the day, we'll just kind of see how it plays out.
Awesome. Thank you, Julian.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And correction, he meant 10 out of 10. Thank you.
It looks better now.